Here's to Veterans from Henry Morgan and Bernie Green and his orchestra. Here's to Veterans, a fast-moving quarter hour of entertainment and helpful information, brought to you transcribed by the top flight talent of radio in cooperation with the Veterans Administration, dedicated to every man and woman who served in our armed forces, who helped to win victory for freedom. Now, Henry Morgan.
Good evening, anybody. Here's Morgan. Put those notes back someday. Well, there's a joke somewhere in this 15 minutes. All you need is a little patience. Here's a couple of characters whom we usually find are still with us when the phone rings.
Hello.
Hello, Hortense. This is Gerard.
Hello, Gerard. This is Hortense.
Hortense, I was especially asked to join a club today, and I'd love you to join it with me.
Well, I would be pleased and honored, Gerard. What club is it?
The Book of the Month Club. It's very educational to get a book every month.
Is it? Isn't it a strain on your eyes?
Well, you just get it. They don't force you to read it.
That sounds fair. What book do they send you, Gerard?
Well, they got some people who choose the books they like.
Some nerve. If they like them so much, let them buy them. But what all of a sudden made you so cultural, Gerard?
Oh, there's a fellow works next to me at the pickle factory. Talks about books all the time.
What's eating him?
That ain't the point. He's a very intellectual type fella. He's a Harvard man.
How did a Harvard man get a job in a pickle factory?
Luck. Hortense, can I come to visit you at your house tonight?
All right, but I promised my father I'd shovel the snow off our sidewalk tonight.
Oh, okay. I'll come over and watch you. All right, Hortense?
I acquiesce.
Put the notes back. We should have left them out altogether. Here's an aimless little story entitled, quote, A Soda Jerk is not necessarily when he's a veteran, or is he? It's a story of Glenn, a soda jerk turned businessman. Before the war caught up with him, Glenn had become assistant manager of his hometown corner drugstore. Back from the war, he didn't want a job anymore, but a business of his own. Why so many people want businesses of their own is beyond me. First thing they want to do is advertise, and then a guy like me has to read their commercials on the air. But that's beside the point. Glenn made a proposition to his former boss to buy a half interest in the drugstore, and the boss put him on the spot. He said, yeah. Well, Glenn didn't have enough money to swing the deal, so he went to his bank. They're funny people. They put stock in a fellow's experience and careful planning, and they thought Glenn had a fair chance. The Veterans Administration accepted the bank's judgment and guaranteed Glenn's loan, and that did it. Today, instead of dishing out beautiful banana splits and putting whipped cream curlicues on chocolate sundae messes, Glenn's busy raking in the dough. And it's all the fault of a GI loan backed by plenty of experience and careful planning. And the VA wants every veteran to do just about what Glenn did. Look carefully, plan carefully, so that their GI loans help them to become prosperous businessmen or home or farm owners. They say that that's what Congress intended when they enacted the GI Bill. Oh, what do you know?
As a special treat for kiddies, Mr. Morgan presents a fairy tale with music. If there is any similarity of the characters in this story to real people, we won't be surprised. Our guest storyteller is Uncle Vladimir Morganov. If you please, Uncle.
My dear children, each character in this story is represented by musical instruments. The name of story is Peter and the Landlord. The part of Peter is played by trumpets. Peter, a veteran, is recently disconnected from the service. He is living in Brooklyn in two-room apartment with mother, father, wife, two children, sister, uncle, brother, two cousins, and a boarder in one room. In another room, his best friend, police dog. He's played by police whistles. This is not ordinary police dog. He don't bark. is member of secret police. Also in story is landlord, represented by tuba. Also in story is renting agent. No good. He's represented by bass clarinet in a low register. Yes. Also in story is janitor. No, we don't need janitor. Include janitor out. No janitor. No janitor. Now, one day... Well, you want janitor? Well, how do you represent janitor? Garbage can? No janitor. Wakes everybody up. Now, one day, landlord comes to apartment. He knocks on door. Oh, they speak bell. Landlord says, is true you got living here 15 people and dog? Peter says, yes. Landlord says, you got to move. Here I don't allow people. Peter gets sore. He shoots landlord. He stabs landlord. He kicks downstairs landlord. He hangs landlord to lamppost. But landlord still says, here I don't allow people. Oh, how Peter suffers. Must find apartment. But where? Renting agent, of course. So Peter goes for a walk to renting agent. But wait. Where is police dog? Hello, doggy. And so they're coming to renting agent. Agent says, you got references? Peter says, well, I was 4 years in Army. I win good conduct medal. I got nice family. Agent says, for you, I got apartment. Rent only $40. Sensational. Only thing, you got to buy a few pieces furniture. Hooked rug, 6 years old. Kitchen chair, 8 years old. Canvas army cut, 1917. All genuine antiques. Besides, you get ironing board, washboard, clothespins, safety pins, iron pot, enamel pot, water glass, looking glass, and piece Brillo. Free. Sounds bad? No. Sounds good. How much? For you, special, $12,000. Down. This is very hard for Peter to swallow. Oh, how he suffers. He walks through streets dejected. But wait, where is dog? Hello, doggy. They walk together. What's that? A sign. Apartment to rent. He runs in, and there, sitting at the desk. Same agent. Agent says, in this building, I also have fine apartments. Care to look around? Peter says, why it says on outside of building, condemned. Agent says, he used to live here. George condemned. Now, I show you special features. First, I open manhole covering floor. Now I open skylight in ceiling. You see what you got here? Cross ventilation. Then he says, now I show you den. Keep that door closed. Well, what do you think? Peter scratches his head and says, okay, how much? Agent says, $1 million. You got to buy buildings. Now, as Peter said, he walked down the street. Don't forget dog. Hello, doggy. They walk. Look, that sign. What that sign says? Building materials for sale. Peter thinks, why not? I could have my own... Peter rushes into office, runs over to boss. Oh, him again. Agent says, what can I do for you? Peter says he wants to buy materials so he can have his own... Agent says, of course. I sell you materials. You want to build racetrack? Nightclub? Department store? Peter says, no. I just want to build tiny, little, small, cheap house. House! Just to live in! Studio is filled with veterans. He told Peter good, believe me. You know something? This is practically end of story. Say, where do you think Peter is living today? He is living in Brooklyn in 2-room apartment with mother, father, wife, 2 children, sister, uncle, brother, 2 cousins, and a boarder with police dog. Also landlord and renting agent.
Advice is cheap, and I'd like to give you about 40 cents worth about your GI insurance. Of course, it pays off mostly when you're not around, but it may save your family a lot of worry, may spare your wife money troubles, may send the kids through college, which isn't too bad. GI insurance is like money in the bank, and people who save regularly are those who'll have security later on. Now, Uncle stands behind this. So, my veteran friends, if you're among that small group of people who want security later on, or the kind who want to make sure their families are provided for when they sign off, do this. If you still have your GI insurance, hold on. If you dropped it, get it back. Go to your nearest VA office and find out that it's pretty easy to get it back. I mean it. GI insurance is a good bet. Morgan enjoyed being on this corner in front of the Veteran Cigar Store.
And that's the Here's to Veterans tribute from Henry Morgan and Bernie Green and his orchestra, who, with their sponsors, the American Federation of Musicians, the American Federation of Radio Artists, the Advertising Council, and this station, are sincerely thanked by the Veterans Administration for making possible this transcription in the public interest. Join us again for another star-studded Here's to Veterans show. And remember, veterans, for advice and help on your insurance, education, loans, medical care, and other benefits, write or visit your nearest Veterans Administration office. And now, a word from your local announcer.